In this video, we're going to be talking about content types in Drupal. Specifically, we're going to be talking about what content types are, how to manage existing content types, and how to create new content types to use on our website. Drupal uses a system called content types to organize and group together like content on your website. Now, when you freshly install Drupal, it comes out of the box with two content types already set up for us, and that's the article and the basic page. If we open up our manager bar here and click the drop-down under Structure, we can see a tab for content types. When we click on this option, it's going to take us to another page with all of the different content types we have on our website. As you can see here are the two out-of-the-box content types. Now, we can understand how Drupal uses this system to group like content together in that it ships with the article content, which it says is useful for blogging or news or press releases. The real power of the content type system becomes apparent when we dive in and look under the hood and see what it is that makes up a content type. So if we click the Manage Fields option here on the article content type, we're going to be brought to the page of the items that actually make up this content type. And you can see that it's a body, there are some comments, an image field, and a tags field. And these items collectively together make up the article content type. And we can see this by going up to Content and clicking the actual content button here, and then clicking Add Content and selecting the article. We can see here that we have our body, our tags, and our image. Now the comment section will be available on the actual page after it's published. Going back to our content types here, if we take a look at the fields that make up the basic page, however, we can see that there's only one field, and that's the body field. And by default, all of these are going to have a title field, so there's no need for it to show up here. This makes this content type functionally different from the article content type. So when we create a piece of content under the article type, it's going to logically group that together, and this becomes more powerful as we look into the future at things like URL aliasing, where we can tell Drupal that we want all nodes published under the article content type to have a URL alias of /news/ the title of the node, whereas we want the basic pages just to be /node title. And this allows us to dynamically build a site that makes a lot of sense, especially if we're building it for someone who is totally foreign to the system and they're going to be maintaining the website. They can go and they say, oh, I need to add a new news article to my website. What do? Well, we add content and we add the type of article. Now, once we click this Manage Fields button again, there's several other options here that are very, very important to us. So here is where we're going to maintain all of the fields that make up this content type. So we can add new things by just clicking the Add Field button. And this is going to take us to a place where we can select the type of field that we actually want to add. And you can see there's everything from Boolean values to numbered lists to text fields and to reference fields such as another image if we want to add that. Now the thing is, this list will grow as we add modules to our website, specifically things that add new functionality such as a weight or something similar to that. So just know that you're not limited to these. There's a whole plethora of modules that can be used to extend the options here. Now, every time we add a new field, such as a link, let's say we need to link out to the source. Maybe we're publishing articles that are published elsewhere. We can give this a label and continue on through. We only want one link to be added here, so we're going to limit it to one, but if it was an image field that maybe was a gallery field, you could set this to a much higher number. We're going to just save and continue through here, and this process is similar for every field that you add. you always end up on a page similar to this where you have some options to configure that specific field. So for example here, we can enter in a default value if we really wanted to. This works really well for like profile images, and if you just want a standard silhouette image to be there if they don't upload a photo of themselves, we can have that there. We can allow different kind of link types, and these are just some basic settings of this field. So the link text here is going to be used to mask the actual URL if we want to do that. And we're going to just leave that as optional. We're not even going to keep this in here. But we're going to save these settings. And that's it. And now we have a new field called source that is of the type link added to this content type. So the next important thing that we need to do is manage the form display. Now, this is the way these fields appear when adding new content. So we can see that it's title, body, tags, image, etc. And that our source field is now way down at the bottom here. So we're going to kind of reorganize this. I personally like to upload my images after I have entered in my title so that they're at the top. And then we're going to put the source here right before the tags. And the tags are just taxonomy terms, and we'll get into that a little later. So we're going to save that. And now if we go back to content and we're going to add this article content again, we're going to see that the image field on the form has actually moved up. And it's here now instead of the body. So this kind of allows you to create a structure and a flow of the ad form, and I like to do it in a way that matches the way it's going to appear on the page. So that's kind of my pro tip on that, is to make it match what the end user is going to see as closely as possible. So let's go back into our content types, and we're going to go to the final tab here within this content type, and that's the Manage Display tab. And the Manage Display tab is going to allow us to rearrange these fields and set up the display of how they appear on the actual page itself. So after the node has been published, this is the order the items are going to appear on the page. So we're going to move our source up here above the comments section, and we're actually going to move it underneath the body so that after the body immediately we're going to get the source of our article. And we're going to leave the image on top, and this just allows us to organize the display option, the node. And now there's a lot of other things that are within here in these custom display settings. So we can have a unique order specifically for our RSS feeds or for a teaser view, and we can maybe pull the comments out of the teaser view. We can do all of that here. Now, we're going to be spending a lot more time in these content types as we develop and build a website towards the end of this project. But for now, that's just a rough overview of how the content type system works within Drupal. In the next video, we're going to be talking about extending our reach by using extensions or modules.